21. Dear Kiddo, take my hand into darkness. The happy birthday text. Kiddo, let me tell you something about your mother. She's a force of nature, equal parts hurricane and soap opera protagonist. If chaos were an Olympic sport, she'd have more gold medals than Michael Phelps. This is the story of how I, fresh off an exhausting campaign to calm her down during a road trip to Beaver Creek, ended up inadvertently unraveling one of her more elaborate escapades. The drama began with that cursed text from my ex. After hours of me justifying why a single happy birthday. Reply didn't mean I was rekindling some torrid love affair. Mom finally cooled down. By the time we arrived at Beaver Creek, we had reached what I'll generously call a truce. Her simmering irritation was replaced with a vague, passive-aggressive quietness, which, in Mom's world, counted as progress. Little did I know, though, that text had become more than a petty grievance in her mind. It was a pass, a ticket to do what she does best. Stir the pot until it boiled over, then play innocent when the kitchen caught fire. Because while I was carefully trying to put out flames, Mom was out here fanning them to justify a whole new level of shenanigans. Enter Alex. Alex was, by all accounts, a bartender with a jawline chiseled by the gods and a personality that probably left much to be desired. You know the type, flirty with everyone, but just charming enough to convince you that you're special. Mom had been eyeing him since we checked into Beaver Creek, and apparently, the ex-girlfriend text provided the perfect excuse to flip her moral compass upside down. Now, let me explain something to you about covert narcissists like Mom. They don't just cheat, they architect the cheating. It's not about impulse, it's about justification. They don't do the thing and feel guilty about it later. They build a whole courtroom in their head, appoint themselves the judge, jury, and prosecutor, and create an airtight case for why their actions are completely justified. And in this particular courtroom, my harmless text was Exhibit A. Mom's logic went something like this. If my son is so morally corrupt that he can wish his ex-girlfriend a happy birthday, then I, a misunderstood martyr, have no choice but to seek comfort elsewhere. Because clearly, I'm surrounded by toxic relationships. And just like that, Mom transformed herself into the victim of a drama she wrote, directed, and produced. Fast forward to my departure. I was supposed to be relaxing in Santa Fe, recovering from the emotional marathon that was the Beaver Creek road trip. Instead, I made the rookie mistake of calling Mom to check in. She answered from Minturn, a charming little town where most of Beaver Creek's working class lives. But this wasn't a casual, just out and about kind of call. No, Mom was in full-blown getting-ready mode. "Hi, sweetheart," she purred, her voice dripping with sugar and secrets. "I'm just straightening my hair." "What's new with you?" This was my first red flag. Mom never straightened her hair, unless she was about to go on the prowl. Her natural curls were part of her whole carefree bohemian goddess vibe. So if she was busting out the flat iron, it meant business. "Are you going out?" I asked, trying to sound nonchalant. There was a pause, too long to be innocent. "What makes you say that?" she asked, a little too brightly. "Because you're straightening your hair at 7:30 p.m. in a town where you don't know anyone, Mom. That's why." But I didn't say that. Instead, I tried a different angle. "Are you meeting anyone?" I asked, knowing full well she was. "Kiddo, if there's one thing I've learned about Mom, it's that she can handle almost any situation with composure, unless she feels like she's been caught." And in that moment, I could hear the panic setting in. "Of course not," she snapped, her voice suddenly sharp. "Why would you even ask me that? I'm just having some me time." Ah, yes, me time. The universal code for I'm doing something sketchy and don't want to admit it. The next day, she made a big show of coming home early, far earlier than planned. She claimed Beaver Creek just wasn't doing it for her anymore. But I knew better. She was running. She'd been called out, and her carefully constructed house of cards was starting to wobble. And here's where things took an even weirder turn. By the time she got home, she wasn't focused on Alex anymore. No, she had pivoted back to another man, Alex's backup, apparently. Because, kiddo, that's how she operates. She collects backup men like other people collect stamps or fridge magnets. And if one falls through, she simply pulls another from the rotation. It's like a bizarre, emotionally exhausting game of whack-a-mole. Alex wasn't really my type anyway, she told me later, trying to sound breezy. But I've been meaning to reconnect with someone back home. You remember him, right? He's such a good listener. Translation? I got caught, so now I need a new distraction. Kiddo, I won't lie to you. Dealing with mom can feel like playing chess against someone who changes the rules every 5 minutes and still accuses you of cheating. But here's the thing. As exhausting as it is, there's something almost impressive about the sheer audacity of it all. She lives her life like it's a soap opera, complete with plot twists, secret lovers, and dramatic exits. And while it's maddening, it's also kind of hilarious. So, take my hand into darkness, kiddo. Because if there's one thing you'll learn about this family, it's that we don't just survive the chaos, we thrive in it. And honestly, life's a lot more fun that way.